G'day, listeners, and welcome to the first episode of NRL Unpopular Opinions for season 2025. I'm your host, Ryan Cook, and joining me is the usual supporting cast of all stars, including the man who has learned a very harsh lesson in patience over the last couple of weeks.
Have I?
It's rugby league writer, Apparel's very own Oscar Patafex.
Thank you. God, it's good to be back, boys.
It's good to see you, man.
It's good to sit in this stool again, sit over here in the corner and talk some footy with you boys. Yes, I haven't learned any patience, but I've been practicing it.
Or nor English while he's been away.
Beautiful alliteration, though.
I got ChatGPT's not working for me.
Do you want to start
IRL?
Wait till you start yelling at your kid.
Yeah, that's it. No, my beautiful wife is 42 weeks tomorrow, so we're just waiting for the little man to arrive, make his first little line break, and introduce himself to the
Through
world.
the gap.
That's a great way of putting it. I like the hole.
So yeah, we're waiting.
Not faces.
Who would have thought? So many innuendos.
Next, you've already heard his voice. You know him from his work at Aspley Mazda. He's been training the house down. It's Jharal,
Oh my gosh, that's a good one. It's a good one. Hey, it's an easy, shameless plug for them as well. So, no, it's good to be back. I've been on the camera a little bit out there. At,
It's a natural career arc for footy players, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. And
Car dealerships.
It is. I'll get a free car, so I'll take it.
We're the losers
What are you
here.
driving?
I drive a Mazda. Shout out.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. And finally, self-labelled serial pest, fresh from shredding the gnar in Japan.
Oh,
Liam Fogarty.
Powder dogs. What's going on, boys?
terrible reputation, this bloke.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. There's whispers around the traps. My rep is at an all-time low, but it's good to be back with you, boys. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
You're shaking like a leaf.
6 months of putting up with you boys. I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to be all right.
First
You got to make it. You got to make it 6 months.
Preseason nerves. Yeah, I'm feeling it a bit too.
Shout out to our producer, Rich Oldfield, who's back on deck with us for a fourth straight season.
Yeah.
Love your work, Rich.
We love that guy, man.
How's the off-season been, boys?
He's playing a cricket game over there. Rich, come on.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Stay focused, Rich.
Yeah, it's been good, gents. A little time away from footy is not always bad. I mean, cricket was... It's just I'd had enough of it by the end, though.
Really?
But it was a good. It was actually a good cricket season, wasn't it?
One of the best.
Yeah, it
series
was.
we've seen in a while.
I didn't hate it, definitely, but once you get around to late January, you sort of just you're raring to go again. There's a couple of games that you're just thinking, oh, just be the end of it. Unless you're a cricket fan, that is. But this is not a cricket podcast, gentlemen.
No, it's
Correct.
not.
Isn't it?
This is a rugby league
Why are we wasting
podcast.
airtime talking
So
I'm not complaining.
there's been no stuff ups from me over the holidays, so
That's a plus,
which
yeah.
is great.
Wow.
Usually we get some news, but nothing here on Unpopular Opinion, which is great.
You got some fresh ink?
I do. It was actually me and my wife have not come up with an idea. I think this is an idea with a lot of relationships. Go on a date night once a month, and we choose what we do. We just walked past a tattoo parlour in West End. Pretty nerve-wracking.
Great part of the world. Yeah.
Really nerve-wracking stuff. No, we walked in there and we just got a tattoo of our boys' middle names. So one of our boys' middle name's Saint, and the other one's Rome. So Saint Rome.
Very cool.
And we both got it in the same spot. So I was pretty pissed, actually. I'm not sure if
It's the best kind of tattoo.
I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that when you're drunk. And I lied on my form. So yeah, risky stuff.
I hope they're not listening.
Risky stuff.
They don't want that many
Gotcha,
listeners.
suckers.
Oscar, you got no tats, but you're decked out in RLW apparel.
Dripping in it, head to toe. Yeah, been working on these hats, getting some samples working. The joys of Alibaba. I don't know if any of you boys have...
Shout out. Not
trying
sponsored.
to find
Another
some
shout.
samples.
That's where I
But
see you doing some work.
Doing some work over the summer. Cricket got me through a little bit, and then tennis got me through another couple of weeks, barely. But yeah, the trials are back, done and dusted. All-Stars game is mean, and we've got, 3-4 more sleeps till Las Vegas round 0. So
Crept up quick.
yeah, let's get into it.
Fogs, how's Japan quickly?
Mate, Japan was incredible, and I wish I was still there.
Yep,
But,
that's fair.
You can't.
What an
have
ass.
So do
everything. Yeah. $3 beers on every corner, and just knee-deep powder. Like,
Is there a lot of Aussies over there?
yeah, I was calling it cold barley.
I was gonna
the
say,
whole
yeah.
time. It was just like little Australia.
I've got mates over there right now.
Yeah, I ran into blokes I knew, like we
Wow.
were leaving,
Really?
and people were messaging us being like, oh, I'm there next week. Yeah, little
good.
Australia.
That's good
Cold
getting.
barley.
Very good, lads. All right, we've got a lot to get to this week. We're going to do our season preview show. We're going to go from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder, starting with the West Tigers. As you said, Oscar, we've got games coming up in 4 days, so we've got to go rapid fire here. We're not going to spend more than about 3 minutes on each team.
Yep.
For social media reasons as well. We want to clip all these up. So let's start with the Tigers. Spoon last year, 6 wins, 18 losses. Oscar, you're going to deliver the key questions. I'm going to do a player to watch. JYY, you're going to give a bold prediction because you're just so good at that.
Thank you.
Bold.
I did last year. I said Melbourne would take the
Beautiful.
minor premiership last year. You still haven't found that clip for me, Rich. One job.
Chewing into that 3 minutes.
And then finally, we're going to do over-under wins totals, and then Fogs is going to give a top try scorer from each team. So let's go West Tigers. Spoon last year. We all know the story. Oscar, what is the big question here?
Yeah, big question for me is what does a Galvin and Luai halves pairing look like? We know Galvin touched the ball a lot last year for the Tigers. Was that out of necessity? I think probably maybe. We know Luai's played second fiddle throughout most of his first grade career, but stepped up big time and really impressed for Penrith playing at 7 when Cleary was out last year. So 2 high touch or high receipt players who can play both sides of the ruck. We saw Galvin playing right edge and left edge in the trial. So, yeah, I'm just curious to see how that looks. How do they share their touches? Is there a primary? Is there a left edge and a right edge? Or did they just go all the way across the park? Because, yeah, there's a high ceiling there, but there's a lot of moving pieces.
I think a player to watch is Jharal Buller. I tossed up between him and Luai, but I think the Tigers are pretty set in the centres now, and I think the fullback position is going to be like the key to them maybe making a push for the top 8. They've been a bit of a smoky for a top 8 pick this year. He was hurt for most of last season as well. So this is a big year for Buller. Jharal, what is your prediction for the Tigers?
Yeah, I think they're going to be a lot better. I think defensively they'll be a lot better. So my bold prediction this year is there's not going to be as many points put on them. I think there'll be a lot of closer games. I don't think they'll climb all the way up the ladder, but I do think, defensively they'll be better. They've got a crew that, when you're bringing someone like Jarome Luai, you can tell that, he will bring a lot of experience when it comes to defending. So, they had 287 minus points last year. So I think their defense will be a lot better, and they'll lose games a lot tighter than losing those those big ones and those big margins that we've seen in the past. And I mean, 6 wins is not great for them. I think they climb up there a little bit.
Speaking of wins, the over-under win total is set at 9.5, which kind of seems a little bit high based on what you just said. Oscar, you taking the over-under here?
I'm sitting on I'll take unders. I went through their draw. I think that's bang on. I think bookies are usually pretty good with this market. 9.5. Yeah, I had it at 9 or 10. So I'll take the unders.
And a top try scorer, Fogs?
Yeah, I'm going with Sania Taruva out on the wing. Plenty of experience with the Panthers, scoring meaties, and I don't think it's going to be very hard to be the top try scorer at the Tigers this year. Was tossing up Buller, but I think just being on the wing, he should see more opportunity to score a few meaties.
Very good. All right, from the Tigers to your Rabbitohs, Oscar.
Boys.
Been a bit of a tricky week.
It's all in the rear view mirror now. Everything's behind us. We had a poor run last year. Wayne's back. Everything's good. So, yeah, what did you guys want to talk about?
How about you take it away?
It's tough. It's real tough.
My key question for Souths after the Cam Murray and Latrell injury news is how much do they need to change with those guys out? I think whether it's Tallis Duncan or Jamie Humphreys in there at 13, I think there's options there for Souths in terms of a ball-playing middle. But I think a lot of our attacking systems are designed to put Latrell in passing situations on the edges. Jai Gray is an excellent talent, but he's not a ball player. So I think we need to change our systems in terms of how we use the ball in attack, and I'm curious to see what that looks like over the next few weeks.
I think Lewis Dodd's the player to watch here. I think he's suspended until round 2, if I'm correct, but brought over from the UK, pairing with Cody Walker in the halves. Now that game, maybe. Now that game winner in the World Club Challenge. Only 23 though, so the world's his oyster basically. But big pressure stepping into a team that always has high expectations, and there's some familiar faces missing as well this year.
Yeah, you just got to give him a bit of time.
Absolutely.
He's not a productive halfback. Everyone's saying, why no line breaks, no tackle breaks, no tries. That's not his role. His role is to put Cody and previously Latrell into scoring situations. So his job's going to have to change a little bit as well. So there's pressure there, but yeah, give him some time.
Jharal, where do we see the Rabbits finishing?
Look, I think they'll come good at the end, but I think they go 0-4 for the start of the season, which is tough
because with Finns, Drags.
They got Finns away, Dragons away, Sharks away, and then the Panthers at home. I think they just go 0-4 straight away, which is really tough. And we know that this side can string wins together. We've seen it in the past when they've gone really well to kick off their seasons. Then they've gone really shit to kick off their season and come good. But I just think it's going to be really tough for them to start with all the disruption. I think it's going to be hard.
1, 6, 7, 9, and 13.
Yeah.
Are all either injured or unavailable for Souths now.
I don't know whether Roosters will come to them, but they've got them round 5. And it's at a core, which is pretty a neutral stadium for them as well. So it could be 0-5. Michelle Pfeiffer.
12.5 wins is the total here. That seems pretty high based on a team that finished 16th last season.
Yeah, it's got to be unders.
Unders?
Yeah.
And a top try scorer from you, Fogs?
Campbell Graham for me. The
Serial killer.
The injury to... You don't like that, do you?
No, I love him.
I love
it.
my serial killer.
I love Jharal saying serial killer.
I'm rattled, boys. But no.
I also hate that bet. Yeah. But go on.
Shocking. I suck. But yeah. We're so back.
Started.
Few injuries to the back line. Latrell out. AJ, we're still not sure when he'll be back with the Achilles. I think he will break the record this year, but Campbell Graham has more opportunity, I think, this year.
Cool.
Let's go to Parramatta, another club that's transitioning this year. Jason Ryle's in as head coach. Sivo's walked. Probably lucky not to win the Spoon last year, I'd have to say. And they've been a pretty popular pick to win it this year as well. Oscar, what are you looking at from Parramatta this season?
Yeah, my key question is what do we expect from a Jason Ryle's coached footy team?
Yep.
It's his first time, obviously, in the head coaching roles. I'm just watching Jharal shuffle through his notes here.
They're double-sided, mate.
There's numbers on the bottom. There's numbers on the bottom right.
Trying to line it to him. I'm like,
I'm not going to lie to you. I was so rattled. I was like, what the have they done to me?
Jharal's doing some origami next to me.
that's a little classic prank.
It wasn't the first time I folded over the holidays.
For Parramatta, I think there were some positive signs in the trials. They've picked up Ronald Volkman, Fogarty's
my
mate.
boy.
Who's going to give them a genuine halfback replacement for Mitch Moses, who they haven't had for 3 or 4 years. So that's encouraging. They played nice and direct in attack, which was also encouraging because we've been critical of Parramatta playing too sideways in the past. But at the same time, their defence was poor and their discipline was poor. So I think they're a team that's going to be learning a lot on the run this year, maybe a bit like the Dragons from last year. But I want to get a better idea of what Jason Ryles wants to coach into his footy team.
They are going to be learning a lot, and they're going to be leaning heavily on a lot of young players like Isaiah Iongi coming through the Penrith pathway system, 23-year-old, only debuted very late last year. I think he's slated to start at fullback.
Had some good moments in the trials.
Yeah, he did. And like I said earlier, Sivo's gone, so they need a playmaker at Parramatta, and I think he could be the one to keep an eye on. Jharal.
I just don't like him. Don't like him. I mean, when you come under a new coach and, mate, he looks like he has put them
They look fit, eh?
They look fit. But does that help them as in the sense of can they handle that? Has it been too much of a big preseason for a lot of these guys that probably haven't done that before? Do they fall off later in the season? Yeah, I'm not excited about Parramatta. I think we never are on this podcast. I think we run them down every single year until they get good. Sorry, Para fans. But yeah, I've got them down probably the same position, finishing.
The over-under win total, 11.5.
I went unders.
Yeah, that seems like a
Unders
straightforward play.
Yeah.
Yep. The only probably area of excitement on Parramatta Fogs is on the wing. We've got Zach Lomax there now and Josh Adokar, who's the top try scorer.
Foxy's out till round 5, I believe. But I've got, Zach Lomax as my top Para try scorer. But I think Para's my spoon tip this year. Ooh. Nothing about them sparks joy. I'm looking at a predicted round 1 lineup now. It's just, a heap of Reggies. Heap of young fellas.
Get wrecked, Para.
And I think we have to start every season of the show by tipping Para to win the spoon.
Yeah.
I think that's
tradition.
It wouldn't be.
It's easy content, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't mind the Lomax shout for top try scorer because I think if the Eels are struggling by round 10, the first change they're going to make is move Lomax to fullback rather than have 2 rookies in Joash Papali'i or Iongi in there.
Definitely,
so if Lomax finds himself with the 1 on his back for 15 to 20 games this year, if you're a Supercoach fan, hell yeah. But also try scorer's value too. So one to watch.
Let's go Gold Coast Titans, who finished 14th last year, 8 wins, 16 losses, battled their way through injuries in the first year under Des Hasler. I think they've been a pretty popular team this year to potentially sneak into the 8. That's a nice little segue into our futures multi later in the show. Oscar, what are the big questions for Gold Coast this year?
I have so many questions for the Titans. I was warming on them to be a top 8 smoky, just with a pack that they've got. And then they got absolutely obliterated in round 1 of the trials, really passive through the middle of the field, a lot of big bodies that were just getting turned inside out or not applying inside pressure, which left their edges really vulnerable. So, yeah, my question for them is, how does their big forward model hold up in the modern game when we've got other clubs doing the small forward game, like Canterbury, Parramatta are doing it? Yeah. What is a forward pack with Fodawaker, Jolliffe, Farsur Malawi, who else am I missing? David Fafita, Fermor.
Reggie.
Thank you, Big Regan, Campbell-Gillard. So there's a lot of big dudes there. We saw in the second round of the trials, they're going to, when they get it right, Brimo, JC and Kinney, beautiful support play, offload, second phase and all that. Be difficult to see how it works throughout a season.
Are you looking forward to that half combination of Jaden Campbell and Brimo? Do you think it'll work? Or
I think it's a weird one. I think Foran was the best answer at 7, but I also think Brimo's wasted at
He
in
done
the
his
centres. And Foran's
No,
now
he's
out,
not there.
Yeah, so that, I liked Foran there originally. When he was out, I thought that was a big loss, but I guess the silver lining is the ceiling of Brimo and JC is quite high.
Brimo with ball in hand, man, there's just nothing quite like it.
He looks thick.
Vicious.
You're right. He's too good on the ball to only get 15 touches a game in the centres. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
I think another player to watch is Carter Gordon, probably down the track. He's not the Titans do have the bye in round 1, so you're not going to see him straight away. But another code convert that's coming over from rugby. And fun fact, he's hoping to become the first ex-Wallabies playmaker to play in the NRL in 34 years. So that's quite a...
Who was the last one?
Wouldn't Matty Rogers count, or was he not a
he wasn't,
playmaker?
No, he wasn't a playmaker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Was he just full?
Who was the last? Who was that?
I don't know. I'd have to have a look.
It's good that you've done your research.
Yeah, I've just got that stat. Sorry. It's our first show.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's correct.
Yeah.
Standards are set in
We'll warm into
pre-season, and that's not a good sign.
JYY, bold prediction.
I don't know how I feel about him as well. I mean, because if they stick with the halves pairing and they don't get injured, hopefully they come good. And then off the back, because they've got some really electric backs, I really do think. But my drama is also with the big boys in the middle. Can they hold out the year of, playing that fast brand of footy? You can't really slow the game down anymore. It's not played like that. So I think they're going to go. I think they'll go close to the 8. I think my bold prediction is, I don't want to sit on the fence and get splinters in my bum, but I think they just miss out.
Over under win total is 10.5. I think you've got the unders down here, Oscar.
I took unders.
I'd take the overs there.
Yeah, I think I like overs. I like the overs.
Seems like a pretty fair line. Fogg's top try scorer for the Titans.
Yeah, no brainer for me here. Lofi Khan-Pereira. I think he's a really good shout to finish as the top try scorer in the league. And I've been mentioning it on this show for a couple of years now. There's every chance he has a run at a Queensland jersey at some point this year. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Let's get to the Wars, who finished 13th last year. Disappointing season overall. I think a few of us sat here 12 months ago saying they could be a top 4 side last season. That didn't work out. Bit of a transition year with SJ gone. I don't know if you call it a hangover last season, but missing the finals completely was quite disappointing under Webster.
I think everyone, because we thought they were going to be, because they did finish so high.
Yep.
It was a bit of a disappointing season for them.
Based on the expectations
Correct,
they had.
yes.
And that's my question is, did they overachieve in 23? Did they underachieve last year? Is it somewhere in the middle? Like, where does this Warriors roster fit in the NRL Premiership race? I'm super high on Andrew Webster. He's got a big challenge in front of him, guiding the Wars into a post-SJ, Torhu and Adam Fanua-Blake era. That's insane. That's as big a turnover in terms of leadership as any club's going to go through this summer. They looked pretty shaky in round 1 of the trials, and then they looked untouchable against Melbourne.
Who did they add?
Bits and pieces. Fish was there for the second game.
Yeah. I believe my bold prediction is I think they're in the 8.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just what I think with him coming in, and they do lose a lot of leadership, but I also think those boys will still have some part of being in that club,
in the DNA,
DNA of the club. So when you bring someone like Fish in, I believe that he was the forward pack for Penrith. Yep. So I think they're in the 8, which is very bold because I don't know if a lot of people would put them in there.
You'd be getting a good price for that, I imagine. I think the player to watch, we've already touched on it, but Luke Metcalf, replacing a legend, speaks for itself. Fogs, give us a top try scorer.
RTS for me, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Looks like he's going to be starting on the wing for most of, at least to start the year. And
Scary
Did
Dallin,
you see that try score?
Yes.
he's
where
a
he
freak,
slipped
man.
back through 3 guys. There is not another winger in the comp who scores that try that he scored against whoever it was last week.
He's a nightmare. Like, he's a nightmare on the wing.
And this will be like the season where we get to see him back at his absolute best.
Can you imagine him bringing the I know we only got 3 minutes here, but bringing the ball back in open fild, it's going to be, his legs are he's so hard to tackle.
You're stupid if you kick into his corner.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he's got very good hands. Like, he's pretty good under the high ball. He's played a lot of his footy there when he was at the Roosters. I like him.
They talked a lot about it taking him a little while to get back to the fitness levels of rugby league last year. There was a toll on his body. I think with another preseason, I like that. And I think you picked that, Fogs, before DWZ went down as well.
And it's looking like he's out for 2 to 3 months. Yep. So unfortunately,
that's a big loss.
No chance of being their top try scorer this year unless he has a huge back end.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just lastly on the Wars, I'll give this one to you, Jharal, because you've tipped them to make the 8, 11.5 wins.
Yeah. Because you sort of sit around 13 to make the 8, right? So, I'm going overs.
From 13th to 12th, we jump into the Brisbane Broncos. We could probably spend 20 minutes talking about this club.
More than 3 here.
Quite the successful preseason, I would say.
Back to back, by the way, gents. Yes, back-to-back preseason. Who said we haven't brought silverware home? Fuck those people.
Madge is at the helm. Oscar, you actually wrote a fair bit about the Broncos.
Oh, did you?
Over on our blog.
I have.
What'd you say?
Week.
I said I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm quaking in my boots. The first thing my missus, we watched the Bronx play on the weekend. She goes, holy shit, is that Adam Reynolds? Every single player looks 3 or 4 years younger at this Broncos roster than they did last year. They've obviously had...
Except for Dozy, he looks old as shit.
They've had a seriously intense preseason. They look fit. They look purposeful. They were getting to spots on the field. They had a plan with their attack. I think I wrote in the blog, they played a lot through the second phase play of Carrigan and Payne Haas in the last 2 years, which is hard to defend, but it's also difficult to repeat every week.
Yeah.
They've got a system here now. They hit spots on the field, whether it's Renault or Ben Hunt, first receiver either side of the ruck. The second one holds the short side, and Reece Walsh plays either edge. Terrifying stuff.
Yeah.
So my question was, does Madge complement the current Broncos roster? I think from the trials we can see he's already made a few very telling changes. Gemet Shibasaki selected over a guy like Dean Mariner. Jack Kajewski selected over a guy like Brendan Piakura. Kobe Hetherington moving a guy like Pat Carrigan out of his preferred position. This is evidence that Michael Maguire is changing this roster to complement his style, and I think the early evidence is promising.
I think it'll be interesting to see what he does with Selwyn Cobbo, who arguably had a pretty distracted season last year with a lot of off-field things, and now he's in a contract year this season. He's my player to watch.
Did you see how fit he looked?
He does look very fit.
He looks like a superhero.
I also think that, like, in his defence, in Selwyn's defence, I also think he had a bit of baby fat on him. Like, as you get older, like, we got to remember he was only coming through at 18, 19. So
feels like he's been around for a long time.
It's correct. Like, we watch all these kids have that. I mean, have you seen a picture of Benny Hunt when he first came to the club? We called him Brucey because of Matilda. That's why his nickname is Bruce.
Chocolate cake.
That's why I called him. You can do it, Bruce. They just lose their... Funny shit. You lose your baby fat, and that's what Selwyn has done now. He's shedded a little bit of that. He's not holding it anymore. There probably is a part of where he's getting a bit more dietitian and training a little bit, but that's. I think he's around. He's ripe for the picking.
He's going to have a big year.
He's ripe for the picking. Can you imagine if he's fit, trying to stop him from coming out of a corner? Like, it's tough.
He's been given a role this year.
Yeah.
It's not play some centre, have a crack here, he's going to be on that right wing all year.
Yep.
Bold prediction that he's going to be the best winger in the comp.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bold prediction. Just watching
Queensland this year, right?
Yeah,
he's back in there.
I think he is Dally M winger of the year.
Nice.
Great
Nice.
segue. We talked about this before.
Nice.
Performed that well.
Yep.
Over, under, 14.5.
Over.
Over.
Yeah, over.
Undefeated.
Easy.
Give us a top try scorer, Fogs.
Well, I have Jesse Arthurs, but
Yes.
after that chat that you boys, I'm thinking about swapping it.
Nah, keep it. Don't.
No, I'm not. I
Keep
can't.
it.
Can't change. Jesse Arthurs is the guy for me. Dean Mariner was another one I really liked the look of, but the injury to Stags and kind of changed a lot of things in my mind. But
Oh,
yeah,
we have to bring Dean Marin. That
I
sucks.
think sucks to suck. Good Gold Coast boy, Jesse Arthurs, Helensvale Hornets own.
Handsome man.
Get around.
I like it. I think their left edge is where they'll go. Gemmett has really nice hands. That's Walsh's favourite side. And then they've got a pretty handy number 6 to come back in there halfway through the year as well. So, I think they plan left.
All right, let's jump to the Dragons, who finished 11th last year with 11 wins, 13 losses. Inconsistency was the theme with them last year. Really struggled to string together back-to-back wins. They've lost Zach Lomax and Ben Hunt, but have gained Val Holmes and Damien Cook.
And Gutho.
Oscar, key questions.
Yeah, I kind of already answered my question. Where do their points come from? That left edge is my favourite in the comp this year.
Really?
Luciano Leilua, Valentine Holmes, Kyle Flanagan, which is an unlikely candidate for an attacking left edge, and Clint Gutherson, and then whoever's on that wing, whether it's Christian Tuipulotu, Tyrell Sloan, young Fanau scored 4 against the Bunnies on the weekend. They have so much variety on that edge. Luciano Leilua can run over someone as easily as he can flick a pass out the back or between his legs or over his bloody head. And then Valentine Holmes and Clint Gutherson are 2 of the best support players in the competition. So I think we're going to see, and we did see, a lot of variety down that left edge this year. They're going to use Sully and Sewer to crash it on the right edge and then swing it left. I like that left edge. I'm excited to see what they can do.
You touched on it there a little bit, Oscar, but I think Val's experience is going to go a long way to the Dragons having success this season. Kind of felt like last year he had a bit of a down year, but then you go back and look at the stats. 16 tries, that's the most he's scored since 2018.
Yeah, wow.
Jharal, you were pretty keen on the Dragons to finish top 8 last year.
Well, I was,
In
yeah.
your defence, they looked pretty close at times.
They should have.
They should have. They honestly should have. Oh, look, I think they add a lot, but I think they're probably going to take a year to get used to playing everyone in a competitive nature. So I don't have them making the 8 this year. I wish them all the best. Yeah, I wish them all
So
the best.
kind of you.
I want to say
off as you say
no,
that.
I want to say bad things. I want to say bad things because Shane Flanagan's having a go at Dozer. So.
How good was Walshy coming back?
Oh,
Did you
how
see
good
that?
was it?
Oh, yeah, he's got some bad habits he's brought to the club.
Yeah, I wish them all the best, but they don't make the 8.
8.5 wins is the line.
Easy overs for
Yeah,
me.
so you got down easy overs.
Unders.
Overs. I think they're not going to beat themselves this year. They're going to be a hard team to verse. They're going to hurt teams. They're going to be gritty. They're going to win by 2 or 4 points, and they're going to lose by 2 or 4 points. Yeah, I think they cover that easily.
And Fogs, you have Valentino Holmes.
Valentino, Valentino.
What? Is he he's an Italian import.
We'll claim him.
What an idiot, man. This guy.
The Dogs, Valentino.
You know
Yeah,
what? Out of the whole thing,
just-
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
one
just
thing you've done wrong. Valentino Rossi.
Chat
Valentino
GPT.
Holmes.
Please don't call him. I just think he's going to have ample opportunity there. And truth be told, the Dragons are the team I've looked at the least this year. I don't really think that this roster is as good as you think it is, Oscar. I think but yeah, you know more about footy than I do, and I'll admit that.
So wrong often.
You also can spell
Missing-
right better than
Valentino.
Missing Benny Hunt's going to be huge for these guys. I don't think they go very far at all.
I like your Holmes pick though, and you're getting like $23 or something like that for him to be top point scorer this year. Which
Really?
is indicative of him being in a team that is second favourites in the spoon market. So the bookies don't rate the Dragons, which means they don't rate Val, but Val's always in the top 3 for points.
Which means he'll have ample opportunity as a goal kicker and the guy getting all the touches. Yeah,
Yep,
I
I like
like that a lot, actually.
Nice.
Fins up, who finished 10th last year. The Dolphins with 11 wins and 13 losses. Another frustrating team to watch last season. They played some really good footy, particularly in the first half, but injuries, inconsistencies sort of got in the way.
Yep.
Wayne's gone. Christian Wolf's in.
Yep.
Their pre-season's been a little bit up and down. Their first game, I thought they looked like a completely different team, and then last week, not so much.
Yeah.
Oscar, how do you see this year playing out for the Finns?
Yeah, I don't know. They're probably my biggest watch for the year. I think they've got a lot of guys in that squad who are really good footy players, but where do they fit in the team? Like a good example is Kurt Donahue played fullback in round 1 of the trials and played a bit of halfback and a bit of hooker in the second week. Looked good in all 3 positions. So it's a good problem to have, but I think there's a lot of moving parts for Christian Wolf to figure out. My key question, no matter what's moving around him, Isaiah Katoa needs to be that dude for the Dolphins. And my question is just how good is him? Is he? Because I think, is him good? Is him good at football?
You guys all right today?
It's been a long time. I haven't spoken for 4 months. I've just been sitting at home waiting for this to come back.
Mrs. Just shut up.
How good is Isaiah Katoa? I think he's going to be one of the best playmakers in the game, but I want to see where he can take his game to this year.
I think that would apply for Max Plath as well, who I said last year could be playing Origin sometime very soon. Old school, hard-nosed player. Yep. I think everyone loves watching him play.
Dolphins.
Yeah. You got it.
Fins up.
My other question is, how does Tom Gilbert return to the back row help or hinder his progression? So we'll wait and see on that one. Jharal, give us a bold prediction.
I think this is it. I think this is the year they make the 8.
Nice.
Yeah. I think they've had enough. The roster's been, they've moved it around a little bit. I think they'll miss a few old heads, obviously, but I got a feeling that the club's in a good place for them. I know a fair few people there, and they're saying they're humming everywhere else. It's just the footy team now. So they've really got no excuse. I think this is the year that the Dolphins, make the 8. Bold. This is it. It's very bold. Very bold.
Like it a lot. Over, under 9.5 wins.
Over.
I think we're all in agreement to the over there. That seems a little bit short, I think.
Yeah.
And Foggs, top try scorer?
Yeah, this is a bloke who I think will take that next step. He's already one of the best in the league, but I think this might be the year that we see him go bunter. It's Hamiso Tabuai.
Is he a young fella? Is he coming through, that guy?
He's my smoky. Keep an eye on him. Sleeper.
He's a sleeper,
yeah.
He's a sleeper.
Foggses could be anything.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
I think this might be one of his career years. That's what I'm calling.
Okay.
I think eventually they're going to have to start putting him in ball playing situations as well. Like he scores a lot of tries just running onto perfect shape from Katoa. I think as his game develops, we'll see a bit more productivity from Hammer, distributing a bit more, and I think I'm keen to see that as well.
Let's get into Canberra, who finished 9th last year. Feels like they always finish 9th. 12 wins, 12 losses. I think we as a podcast have learned our lesson. This is a team that will always finish in that range between 6th and 10th.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that could be the case again this year. Some big losses though. Rapana's gone. Elliot Whitehead's gone. Yeah. A lot of experience gone from that roster.
Yep.
And I think it's a pretty much a prove it year for Ricky Stewart. Like, how does he get the most out of this young team? Give us a big question, Oscar.
Yeah, you pretty much just touched on it then. How do they replace guys like Elliot Whitehead and Jordan Rapana, who have been not only on the field but off it as well, 2 of Ricky's favourite sons at Canberra for the last decade. Big shoes to fill. I think Corey Horsburgh looks like he's in for a big year. We always joke about in the Supercoach chat that Ricky, the Ricky roller coaster, where he'll have a player who's like his favourite pet project for a season, and then he'll kick him to the curb and treat him like shit and try and break him the next year. And then if he can survive that, he's his favourite player again for the and that to me looks like Horse.
So you've got Horsburgh that's copped that.
Yeah. He copped it the year.
Tarpanay
was the year before that.
Yeah. Who else do you reckon?
Oh, you're testing me. Look,
maybe we need Macca to call him a bit more. Just keep him on
Can you
his
set that up?
toes. Yeah, definitely.
Player to watch, I think it's KO Weeks all season long. He's a versatile player. He can play a lot of different positions. I think he's going to be a handy try scorer bet as well. 8 tries in 17 games last season.
Yep.
Bold prediction from you, Jharal?
I don't know. It's going to be a real wrestle for them this year. I think no one picked up on that. Innuendo. Okay, sweet. Must have been in Vegas. Wrestling. Thanks, boys.
You're blowing it up to something bigger than it is.
No. I don't know. I'm not sure where I sit with them. We are correct. We've probably got to be careful where we sit with them because they've sort of over-exceeded when we've run them down to the lowest here on this pod. Yeah, they've burned us before. And then when we've said that they're going to go good, I think 2 years back they went to the shit.
Burn us again.
I don't know where they sit. And the milk is a little bit far away. They never really... they just keep to themselves. And we really got into them last year and they come good and we thought they were going to make it. Yeah, I think they finished 9th. Let's just go bold predictions. They're going to finish 9th again.
I think they're favourites to get the spoon again, second year in a row.
What?
I don't get that at all.
You're a brave punter if you're back. Like Ricky Stewart famously hates spoons. Hates them. Eats his cereal with a fork, I've heard. So you're a brave man if you're back in Canberra to get the spoon, right?
He's on.
Is that one of your own?
warming up.
That's sensational.
9.5 wins.
Unders.
Oh, yeah.
And a savage try scorer.
Yeah,
you, Liam.
it's one of my favourite sort of players. I've really wanted to see him do a lot more. We haven't
guys
quite seen it
related?
yet. We look very
No,
similar.
Jamal. Sorry.
Jamal,
that's
Jamal.
and you know, cousin Jamal's been texting me saying
Cousin Jamal.
he's Savage looks great. I think this might be a big year for him.
Yep.
Is it Fogarty or Fogarty?
Doesn't matter, baby. You can just whatever makes sense at the time. I ain't complaining.
Newcastle Knights, who finished 8th last year, 12 wins, 12 losses. The halves pairing is going to be the talking point for Newcastle all year. I don't know how anyone really feels confident in what Newcastle's going to produce this year, but Oscar, take it away. Give us a key question.
Feel like I'm covering old ground here.
Rinse and
Saying the
repeat.
same thing for 3 years.
Yep.
Look, they look better in the trials. Adam O'Brien's done some nice things. I think Frizzell is a nice addition in the middle. I think Kai Pearce-Paul has been moved to the right edge where he's played his whole life, 12 months too late, but he's there now. I think Sharp looks good at 6. So, yeah, I think there's positive signs there, but what is Adam O'Brien looking for in his spine? Why is he dropping a genuine hooker like Jaden Brayley to play a utility like Phoenix Crossland, whose effort area is a 10 out of 10, but his service is not first-grade quality?
No.
It was the reason New Zealand lost the Pac champs, in my opinion, last year, because his service was so slow out of dummy half. Anyway, so yeah, what is Adam O'Brien looking for? Tyson Gamble is apparently first choice in the spine at 7. Look, KP's good enough to help the Knights do something on his own, but he needs some help, and I want to figure out what Adam O'Brien thinks that help should look like.
And he's got to stay healthy. That's always the biggest talking point with Ponga. I agree with you on Fletcher Sharp. I think he's had a very nice preseason. He's only 20 years old and he looked a little bit green at times last year, but he's going to make some mistakes. Super quick though. It's going to be a fun player.
It's worth persisting in, I think. If you've got Sharp sitting on the left edge, even if he doesn't touch the ball, that's one less defender for KP to be marked up by on the other side of the field. And they're putting Sharp in fullback-like situations, which is what he's more familiar with. So there's some good coaching there as well. But, yeah, we need to see Adam O'Brien find a spine and stick with it.
Jharal, the Knights making the 8.
Nah, they're my wooden spoon.
Sure of it.
They're my wooden spoon. They're my wooden spoon. Adam O'Brien has been very erratic over the last couple of years. And then they re-signed him. Remember when they had that run? They had that not lucky run, I would say. They just got that run that got them into the finals.
KP was
not last, was the year before. 2 years ago. They went 9 or 10 in a row. Mm-hmm. I don't see them. If you're chopping and changing, I mean, we spoke about this before. It's a broken record, but you're chopping and changing your halves and your spine. I just don't think you get. And
when they went on that run, it was Hastings.
It was you
can't get back in the side.
No.
Anymore.
So I've got them. My bold prediction. Sorry, Newcastle Knights fans, but someone's got to have it, and I think it'll be tight. But I don't think it's the West Tigers this year.
First coach sacked, Adam O'Brien.
Well, I said that last time, and I shut my mouth because it didn't happen. They've also what the is going on? They've also got the 5 o'clock game on the Friday, round 1. That's prime time. What has happened?
Tigers.
Tiger against the Knights? What the fudge?
The Friday night games never make sense.
What the heck? What are we doing?
PVL was spending too long working on that video for Donald Trump.
If I come home on a Friday arvo or I go to the pub, I don't want to watch this debacle. Jesus. Somebody send help.
Is it fair and balanced?
Fair and balanced.
I can't even watch that again.
President.
I can't watch that again.
Fox and Fred.
Anyway, that's enough on them.
Yeah.
What do we got else? Unders, definitely.
Unders 9.5 wins is the win total. Fogs, quickly give us a try scorer.
Greg Marju, one of the safest anytime try scorer legs for a while, maybe 2 years ago. Him and Bradman best on that edge. Yum, 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 yum.
Marju.
The Manly Sea Eagles improved from 12th to 7th last year. Health is obviously the biggest X factor with this team, as it is every single year. They need to start winning consistently now. Dropped some key games late last year to the likes of the Tigers and the Sharks. For Oscar, I should say. Key question.
I'll give you one. My key question is, can Anthony Seibold make the most of what is a premiership window? I think Manly can win the comp this year. I think they've got elite players in key positions. I think they've got an experienced and deep forward pack. I think they've got depth in the back line. They just need to find... my question was, there's a lot of moving pieces, so can Seibold put the right pieces in the right places for them to make the most of what, I think is a premiership possibility year for them?
I think you could throw Luke Brooks into that entire conversation. Manly's got one of the deadliest halves pairing in the league, I would say. I don't think we've yet to see his best. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but he's had a taste of finals footy now. I'm really curious to see how he plays this season.
I think I talked a lot about him last year. I think he balanced their attack out a lot. Him and Gerbo stayed on the left, and then it was DC, Olakau'atu, and Turbo on the right. And I think that gave him a really nice balance. So I think that'll stay there. But Hamole Olakau'atu is in for a big year for mine. And I think if Ches can use him correctly, there's just so many good players in that team. Lehigh Hopewadi, Turbo, Garrick, Cooler. Everywhere you look, they've got talent. So, I like them. They just got to get it right.
Prediction time, Jharal?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bold, but I reckon they slip into the top 4.
Nice.
I like their roster as well. I've obviously got a pretty close mate, and in that squad who talks. We talk about their footy side pretty regularly, and he's I think he's. He's coming. I think we can all understand that he's coming towards an end of his career as well, and he's chasing another premiership, and just all the little things that they seem like they're doing right at Manly is the reason why I like them. And I think they're a good chance. They'll be in the top 8, but there's a good chance they slip in the top 4, which we also know is hard to do, but a really big benefit at that business end of the year. So, bold prediction, top 4.
Sounds like the bookies agree because the win total is 13.5, which is high, but it sounds like we're all taking the over there. Fogs, top try scorer.
This is a real dice roll. Any of the back 5 could be their top try scorer. I'm sticking with Jason Saab. Saab, yeah.
He's just got to get fit.
Yeah,
and in the team.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But Turbo, Stubby Cooler, Ruben Garrick, they could all easily be their top try scorer.
I think you found the right position. I think it'll be their right winger that'll score the most. Just, will it be Saab? Will it be Clayton Falolo? Or will it be Tommy Solau?
Canterbury Bulldogs, who finished 6th last season, 14 wins, 10 losses. This year, they go into the season with expectations, something they didn't have last year.
Yep.
And they have a very soft start to the year. They got the Dragons, the Titans, the Eels, and the Sharks over the first month. We saw Canterbury kind of peak at the midway point last year and then gear up towards the finals.
Yep.
What's the key question here, Oscar?
Just want to see what they've added to their attack. We know that they're one of the best defensive systems in the competition. We saw evidence of that in the trials again this year. They just work so hard and they stay so connected in the line. But they need to attack more. And I think that's got to come through Birdo, who we haven't seen close to his ceiling yet. But I think they need to get him on the ball a little bit more. I'm curious to see what they do, what little tinkers they add to their attack this year.
I think Stephen Crichton's the player to watch, mainly for what he does off the ball. His leadership was instrumental in guiding the Dogs to where they finished last year. And like I said, now that they have expectations, how does he keep his side emotionally in check? I do fear for them if they lost him or someone like Kickow as well throughout the year. That could be devastating for their chances. JYY, bold prediction?
It's going to be bold. That's why it's a bold prediction. I think they could fall out of the 8.
Yeah, same.
I think, honestly, they can fall out of the 8. So I'm just going to say, because I don't want to... I said to myself before I come into this room today that I'm not going to sit on the fence. So I'm just going to go, the Bulldogs, the Canterbury Bulldogs don't make the top 8 this year.
Okay, that is very bold.
Like it.
Yeah,
like it.
It's bold, but it's you good.
I think they
got to be with it, and I'll put my hand up if I'm wrong.
I think they can I think they can be a better footy side than last year, but finish lower on the ladder because I think there are so many teams who finished below them last year who were expecting
were better,
such improvements from this time around. So I like it.
They could be the New Zealand Warriors of last year.
Yeah, that is a very good shout. The bookies have set their win-loss total at 13.5, which I think is monstrous, coming off one successful season. Sounds like we're all in agreement on the under there.
Yes, please.
And Fogs.
Yeah, probably not the tip I'm the most confident on.
Well, why are you saying it?
Yeah, all right. Let's just move on. But I've got Marcelo Montoya. Obviously, that Addo-Carr spot is vacant now. Is it going to be Montoya or is it going to be Blake Wilson? Not quite sure, but another coin flip there. I'm going Montoya. Probably Crichton, though, in the end. Let's be real.
I'll go probably Crichton.
Yeah. I hate the
You
Bulldogs.
weren't
I
confident.
don't really care about this tip at all.
I just love everything about it.
We're getting close to the top 4. Let's get into North Queensland, who finished 5th last year. 15 wins, 9 losses. Turnover is the key to their off-season. Val Holmes gone. Kyle Felt gone. We know this team can attack, but defence is going to be the most telling part of their entire year. Second in missed tackles last season, if you don't mind. Oscar, key questions for North Queensland.
Are they in a rebuild? That's my question for them. North Queensland already in a new era, or are they in a rebuild right now?
I think they're humming. I think they're sneaky good.
Yeah, this
is why it's such good content.
Yeah.
I've put money on them to win the spoon this year.
Wow.
The Cows.
What price is that?
I think I got them at 15s or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah. I think they lose so many players during Origin. I think their squad is really skinny. I think they got a lot of guys. It reminds me of South Sydney squad from last year. A lot of journeyman, fringe first graders who are really handy to have for 1 or 2 weeks at a time. But if you're playing a guy respectfully, as an example, like Braden Burns for 15, 20 rounds of the year, I think that's evidence that maybe your squad isn't where it needs to be. I don't know, this is me shooting from the hip.
Should we
here,
have a
so
bet, like, as
everyone
in,
can
like,
shut me down.
to betting podcast, right? Should we have something on the line, like whoever,
like on here?
Yeah. So, like, obviously, you're going the
Yep.
the Cows. I'm going the Knights. You know, to Wooden Spoon. If anyone else takes it out, then we don't, either of us. But
if we land it, there's punishments dished out.
But what happens if they finish in the top
Or
8?
if they nail it, well, then I'll have to do
If they
something.
finish in the top 8,
I'll have to get a Cowboys
We'll have to
logo tattooed.
we'll have to come up with something because
You have to get drunk with
There's a
Jharal
bit
in
in
West End. And get tatted.
that's a worse place for you to come with me.
Lots of questions for him. I think that their middle for me is the biggest issue. I think they got an aging, immobile forward pack, and I think when guys like Ruben Cotter are missing for periods during during Origin time, I think they'll struggle.
I think Scott Drinkwater's the player to watch this year, coming off a career best year. Had a hand in 26 try assists last season. That was second to only Ben Hunt, which is a handy stat to have. Jharal.
Yeah, I mean, and if he doesn't go well there, he could go on the PGA Tour because he's playing pretty good golf at the moment as well on their content and what they're doing.
Is he good?
Yeah, their content's great. Anyway, everyone's playing golf at the moment. Look, I like them. I don't hate them. I definitely don't think they're going to be. Sorry,
No,
but
I said dogs last year.
Yeah.
It's called
correct.
unpopular opinions for a reason.
Yeah. I think they finish. I think they finish in the top 8. I think I also like Fogs. Think they're very sneaky, and they will. They'll make their way in there. I don't like all the Queensland sides this year, but I do. Yeah, I think. What do you mean?
Gallon said all 4 Queensland teams.
I said I didn't like all the
sorry.
Queensland sides this year.
This is the smartest thing Gal's ever said, I reckon.
He said some nice things.
What's
to me,
Gal doing? Putting that out there.
He's trying to be.
He just doesn't get it.
He's just hoping for a punch on at the pub this weekend.
Maybe he's starting to get
He's
it.
starting to get it.
Maybe we'll see him in a Queensland trainer this year as a trainer. G-Train, if you're out there. It's not available,
Shout
but
out.
put your resume in.
Yeah. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Oscar, you have written down on the notes here, easy unders with the win total line set at 11.5.
Yeah, that's only my opinion though. So clip it, Rich, and I'll get roasted in 20 weeks' time.
Bring it on. Fogs, top try scorer.
Yeah, Murray Taulagi. I
Well, it
think
says Muzz here. Who's that?
it's Murray.
Muzz
Yeah,
Tuolungi.
I've been doing it. I swear that's a
Valentino and-
common one, sure.
Valentino. Mate,
That
you
one's
can't
a
just,
con.
I just have to say something. You can't just go give them nicknames when they're not their nicknames.
Yeah, that's his thing.
This
That's what he does.
It's what I do.
I can guarantee you, knowing Murray,
They,
He
no way in the
100%. Yeah,
world.
I've heard Muzz.
He's a cri-
I'll back you up, Fogs. I've
Yeah,
heard Muzz.
thank
He's a creative mind. Don't live in it.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. Yeah,
Spread your wings.
well, for top try scorer, Muzz
It
Tuolungi.
is
Yeah, good.
Murray Taulagi for top try scorer. Yes.
Maybe Muzza. Maybe Muzza. Muzza? Yeah, maybe Muzza.
Muzz dog.
I couldn't
Muzz
type that
dog.
many letters.
Oh, I'm getting carried away here.
All right, top 4.
minutes.
Top 4 time. Cronulla Sharks, 16 wins, 8 losses. Last year, Cronulla's been a very sexy pick to upset Penrith in Vegas this weekend.
Yep.
Give us your key questions, Oscar.
My key question is, how much does Adam Fanua-Blake improve this footy team? And I'm going to answer this key question straight away. Okay. A lot. Yeah. It improves it a lot. I think Cronulla, I've got money on for minor premiership, top 4. I think they're a smoky to win the comp this year.
Shit.
Yep. Them and Manly are my 2. But yeah, Sharks, man. Great squad. I think Adam Fanua-Blake, what he does to help unlock Blake Brayley is going to be a big talking point for Cronulla this year.
Yeah.
They've got Hines and Trindle on either edge who demand so much attention from the defence, and they've got their balance right a little bit more over the last 12 months. And now they've got a really creative dummy half like Blake Brayley with the most destructive forward in the game running off his hip. So if Blake's not taking running chances off quick play the balls, he's collecting offloads or he's using Adam as a decoy. And then I think there's spaces on the tram line. So
I like your brain.
I like him. I like you.
I like your brain. I like your brain. I like the way it works.
Up.
I think Nico Hines is the obvious player to watch. He was my easiest pick of this entire list. Much maligned now for the last couple of years. His mental toughness always in question. So another big season coming up for him. Give us a bold prediction quickly, Jharal.
I don't know if it's bold, but I think they'll finish 5th. Like, I don't think they'll make... Yeah, I know you hope they don't. But I think they will be classy when they are. But I think there'll be times where they lose games they're not supposed to. But I also think I hate to say it because one of my best mates is a Sharks supporter and I can't stand it. But they're a threat. They're a really big threat this year. So bold prediction, they'll finish 5th. But they'll be right there at about...
Who do they lose during Origin?
Ooh.
That's a great question,
They
actually.
lose no one.
Yeah.
The only person at risk of playing Origin...
Well, what a shit team.
It's not Mulatalo, that's for damn sure.
Not Mulatalo. It's only if Blake or Nico has a blinding start to the year and our beloved man, Laurie Daly, decides to throw one of them in there. Otherwise, it's unlikely the Sharks lose anyone to Origin. So I just think they profile so well out of the top teams to really cruise through that period and make the most of it.
That's why I think that cruising is a word that you shouldn't use with them because I think they will fall over at times.
Cruise.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like cruise. Tom, it's my favourite.
And with that in mind, Oscar, it sounds like you're locking in over 14.5 wins.
Yes, please.
Okay. Top try scorer?
Another no-brainer here. Sione Katoa's out for a while, so I reckon it's all Ronaldo. Big Ronnie. Yeah. That's where I'm going.
Like it.
Sydney Roosters finished 3rd last year. 16 wins, 8 losses. This is an interesting season coming up for the Tricolours. Popular pick to miss the top 8. Had a couple of trial losses coming in. Injuries are still a big problem. There's probably so many questions here with the Chooks, Oscar, but give us your best one.
Yeah. So, can Trent Robinson guide Easts through yet another rebuild? I'm just going to run this list of names. Anthony Minicello, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Latrell Mitchell, James Tedesco, James Maloney, Mitchell Pearce, Luke Keary, Cooper Cronk, Sam Walker, Jake Friend, Sam Verrills, Brandon Smith, Connor Watson, Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, Boyd Courtner. Like, I could go on. The amount of elite players that have departed the Roosters under Robinson's leadership since he arrived in 13, I think it was, they have missed finals once. In the year when Mitchell Pearce got fined and suspended and all that shit went down and they lost half their squad to...
Yeah, remind me.
So I think it is ludicrous that people are calling for Robbo's head. I think he's, without a doubt, one of the best coaches in the NRL. And I believe that they'll have a slow start. We saw in the trials they've got some work to do. But I think they'll be there or thereabouts. Yep.
Bold predictions?
No 8 for the Roosters.
Not even close?
We're going against each other. No, I'm not saying not close, but I just don't, I love everything about what Trent Robinson has done over the years at the Roosters, but it'll be the second time under his handling when they don't. And also, I've got a close friend who's a Roosters supporter that I just want him to fail too. So, my bold prediction is no tricolours in the finals this year.
Wow.
Okay. Over or under 11.5 wins?
Or under for me.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't say.
It's on the fringe, isn't it?
I wrote bang on.
Yep.
Sorry, splinters.
I'll lean the over. Fogs, give us a try scorer.
No, I'm not going to because we've skipped over a player to watch, I've seen this on my notes, and I've been waiting all episode for Ryan to have a crack at this name. He read it down.
Okay, ready? Mark Nawakanitawasi.
Well done. That's
Not bad.
No
Not
Wonga.
bad.
No Wanganitawasi.
Nawangani
Nawanga.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Sisa Wonga. The old,
What nation is he?
Fijian.
Fijian. I was going to say that sounds Fijian, doesn't it?
That was nice though.
Yeah, I was close. It's better than I expected.
He
to be
skipped
honest.
over for a reason, though. Let's be real.
Well picked up.
How do you
Foz.
say it one more time?
Nawanga Nitawase.
Nawangani.
Remember Sisa Wonga from
Yeah.
Penrith and
Nawanga
Parramatta? Yeah.
Nawanga.
Nawanga.
Nitawase.
Nita.
Wase. Cool.
I practiced that.
Love that.
A lot.
And then I've
You've got another nickname.
I've got no, I haven't. I've gone Dom Young.
That's tripping you up.
Is his name Dominic?
Me. Me. Yeah.
Hunters, if you can't find Dom Young
Yeah.
for Roosters top sky scorer, look for Dominic Young.
Oh, God.
He was paid by the Chooks to score tries. He hasn't quite done it yet. I'm hoping this is the year, and I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah.
We've got 2 to go.
2 more Penrith Panthers. Second last year, 17 wins, 7 losses. We know what they're trying to accomplish this year. More history. Give us a quick question here,
Leave
Oscar.
us alone. That's what we want. Just
Go
leave us-
away.
Go away.
Can Isaiah Papali'i become a real point of difference in the Penrith Panthers attack? And what I mean by that is it's interesting he's named on the bench for round 1, but I think he'll work his way into a starting edge role at some point. And if he does, then he gives Penrith something they haven't had since kick-out, which is a dynamic, game-breaking, attacking back rower. They play with one of the most conventional, formulaic, systems in attack. But I think a guy like Papali'i can be that point of difference, and I'm keen to see him running off the best halfback in the game.
I put Blaze Talangi down as my player to watch. He's not named in the starting side this week against Cronulla. He's on the bench, but massive shoes to fill.
Yep.
At some point this year in the centres.
I think he'll be their 6, I think he'll be their 6.
Okay. Bold prediction?
That's mine. That was going to be mine.
Talangi?
Nah, it wasn't going to be mine. I just don't have any bold prediction for these pricks. They're just too good.
Is it
I
bold
don't know
to
what else
say
to
they
say.
win 5 in a row?
I don't know what they... No. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I'm in awe of them. Like, they're a great footy side. They're a great outfit. Their organisation is unbelievable. They are arguably at the moment the best sporting team in this country. Yeah.
Over under 16.5 wins.
Unders.
Yeah, I like the
Just
unders.
makes sense to go unders, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it's probably the safer play somewhat. Top try scorer.
I've gone Paul Alamotti. I think it's next man up for Penrith without Taruva there. Obviously, Biz is going to do his thing. He's out for a couple of rounds at least. Give me Paul Alamotti.
Okay.
We've finally arrived at the top of the ladder. It's only taken us an hour. Melbourne Storm, 19 wins, 5 losses. They're probably the second favourite behind Penrith to win it all this year. Oscar, key questions?
How much gas does Money Man have left in
All
the
gas.
tank?
All gas, no
No
brakes.
brakes.
It's not a loaded question.
All gas, no brakes.
I can certainly see him having a last dance season. We
Last
talked,
dance.
well, like
a big season.
a big season
Sorry,
in
yeah.
the back end of his career. I think we probably haven't seen the best of him for 2 seasons now because of injuries. We talked a lot about him being the potential difference in the grand final last year. That whole left edge barely got a few games together, but I think we can all see a lot of upside in Munster, Sean Bloor, Jack Howarth and Xavier Coates. So yeah, I just want to know how much more magic's Money Man got left in him.
2 players to watch here. I think Big Stefano and then Paps as well, who
That's
sadly...
that's his first name.
Yeah.
Hang on.
got it.
What's his last name?
Yatoe Kamanu.
Nice.
Where's
And
the,
then what's
where's the joke?
Hang on. You've got a nickname here.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do it.
Oh, this is
When they're highlighted, on the
they gotta
thing,
be
it's fine.
highlighted.
Yeah.
You didn't
Highlighted.
read the rule.
Gosh. That's rule 101.
You told me there were no rules.
Fight Club.
Bold prediction.
Look, I don't know what to say about Melbourne anymore as well. They're just like Penrith. They're just a great outfit. I don't see them missing the top 4. I think they won't finish first. I'm going to say they come third. My bold prediction.
Alrighty. 17.5 wins. I think that's the highest line for any team this year.
I took unders.
Just makes sense. Like that's just too big of a line not to. A lot has to go right for $1.90.
What did they have last year?
Like-
What, 17, 19? Finchmich 19 wins last year.
I think the comp's just a lot more even again this year.
Tighter, yeah. Yeah, unders.
And you got no first name on your top try scorer.
Xavier Coates. That is who I'm going. Yeah, that'll do. I'm not giving you any more. You're being mean.
I like it.
It's time to jump into some trivia. We're going to do this every single week with our man Fogs. He's come good with some of these trivias recently.
Yeah.
Fogs, I'll let you take it away from him. Mate.
Yeah, well, so this was a little situation we did on my little summer podcast over the break. We did a trivia every week.
Great content, by the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's the only nice thing someone said about me
Especially
today.
like the parts when Dylan was made to feel awkward about not knowing answers.
I feel like people were commenting on that, saying, "Hurry up and get this one back."
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not sure.
and you finally listened. What we're doing today, boys, is up on the board there. I've got every team's greatest ever try scorer with the club and how many they've scored. Jharal and Oscar, you're going to go back and forth, trying to get as many as you can. 3 strikes and you're out.
Nice.
All right. Who?
Can I start?
Yeah. Yeah, you can, Jharal.
If it's so, can I go the Broncos? I'm pretty sure it's the Pearl.
It is the Pearl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gosh, I'm nervous.
I'll take Nofaluma for the Tigers, please.
Damn it.
That is correct.
That is correct. I'll go the Melbourne Storm and I'll go William Slater. Please.
Where is it? Oh, you can.
Yeah. Up. There you go.
There it is. That is correct.
Yep. Oh, gosh.
My turn?
Yes.
Alex Johnson for the Rabbitohs.
Damn it. Man.
Come on, that's an easy one. There you are there. Go up a bit, Fogs. There you are, right in the middle.
You're getting warm.
I reckon I need glasses, eh?
I think the Cows would be Kyle Felt.
Is that your answer?
That is my answer.
You are correct.
Oh, thank God. Man, this is hard, though. I'm like actually freaking out, man.
Oscar.
Shoot. Jared Croker for Canberra?
Is correct.
No.
Good get.
Man, I'm rattled. I'm rattled with some of these. Would the Roosters be, I don't know, Minicello?
Is that your answer?
That is my answer.
Lock it in?
Yeah.
Incorrect. Strike
Damn.
one.
Daniel Tupou.
Is correct.
Oh, no.
Swoops in. Look at that.
Like a vulture. He looks like a vulture, too.
All right. Jharal, back to you, mate. 1 strike.
Yeah, the dirty talk begins. Oh, man, I should know this. I played on them. I wouldn't even have a clue. The Titans, oh, man, who would have scored 85 tries for them?
I think I know who that is.
I honestly don't even
Licking your lips over there,
I
Oscar.
think I know who that is.
Bulldogs, 136.
Come on. Point scorers.
Yeah, I
Doggies.
know, but I don't know if it would be Hazem El Masri.
Is that your answer?
Yes, it is.
Let's have a look. Hazem El Masri.
Oh,
Nice. Well done. Is it Anthony Don for the Titans?
It is
No,
Anthony
it
Don.
is. I think it is.
It is Anthony Don.
The Don.
He's Don. He's good.
The Don Star.
85.
That's so
I suppose
good.
they've only been around for
The
sort of
slowest winger in NRL history, I think, Anthony Don.
the Dragons. Oh, would it be him? See, I don't know because I would it be.
We just did a tee of him.
I'm just gonna go. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go Brett Morris.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Strike
man.
2.
Is it?
Who are you thinking?
Touch me. We're against each other.
No touching. Is it Nathan Blacklock, the Tinga Tornado?
Incorrect.
Oh, good.
Incorrect.
Fair enough.
Oh
Strike
man.
1, Oscar. Strike 2, Jharal.
Man, this is tough. The Sharks 166. Oh man, see this is the Dolphins. Oh, we didn't even look at the Dolphins. Would that be?
It's one of two, isn't it?
Oh, it's either Jermaine or the Hammer.
No stress. 50-50 for your third strike.
Yeah.
This is tense.
I'm just gonna go. I think Jermaine's played more footy. I'm gonna go Jermaine.
Final answer. Lock
Yep,
it in.
Yep.
That is correct.
Oh my God.
Gee, it must be close. Oh, Hammer must be like 30 odd or something. Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
I will go Dallin Watene-Zelezniak has not just been at the Waz, eh? He had a bit of time
He's
at the
played
Dogs,
at the Dogs, he played at
Penrith.
Panthers.
So is that? But that's their current. Like
That
it doesn't.
is their-
It's not 152 Warriors tries, is it? That's
Yeah, it is 152 Warriors
Warriors
tries.
try. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, you can't just
Sorry,
throw
sorry.
other teams
Yeah,
and
yeah.
come
No,
back.
you're right. Sorry.
It's okay.
Brett Stewart for the Seagulls.
He's correct.
Yeah, nice.
Oh man. Look, I don't know.
Where is he? There he is. Bang.
The only person I can
Snake.
think of,
I grew up watching the Snakes score tries for fun at Brookie Oval.
I think it would be. I'm just gonna have a stab in the dark at the Eels. I think it's Jared Hayne.
That is incorrect.
Damn it.
Unfortunately, 3 strikes and you're out. I will reveal the rest of them.
Eric Grove Jr. at Para.
Para is Luke Burt.
Bird. He's a good man. Good man, Luke Bird.
Waz has got to be
Sure. Johnson. No.
Vadavai.
Correct.
Nice.
Dragons, who do you reckon?
Oh, I
got no
said
clue.
Brett Morris, but it maybe
Very handsome man.
Cooper. Is it?
Oh.
Matt Cooper.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
Jeez.
go.
As a
Sharks.
centre.
Sharks next.
Oh,
Is it? Oh shit!
what did ET play?
I was about to say ET. Is
Yeah.
it ET?
Gun Fisherman.
Yeah, ET.
Andrew Eddinghausen. Wow. And then
So he's the only forward on there.
The Knights.
Is that right?
The Knights would be. I know who it is.
Oh,
Fijian winger.
once through a
Aquila!
Yuate.
Aquila
In
Yuate!
Penrith, I wouldn't even have a clue at Penrith. I mean,
also bald.
Gaia? No.
No.
Bald.
One of the great.
Oh, Reece Wesser.
Yeah.
West. Oh,
one
Reece
of my
Wesser.
favourite players of all time.
Man,
Reece
that's
Wesser.
pretty cool.
There you
Well
go,
done,
boys.
Fogs.
That's a pretty good effort.
That's a good effort
Yeah.
from you.
From both of you guys too.
Get used to this, boys.
was
This
fun.
is my new segment this year.
team on that, we would have got it.
They'd have no chance over there.
Well, I know the answers. So I reckon I'd kill you, boys. There we go. Well done, boys.
Yeah, cool.
We're just about to wrap up here on NRL Unpopular Opinions. Boys, pretty quickly, what are we looking forward to this weekend?
Oh, it's good to be back with you guys.
It is.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
Are we hanging out this weekend?
Nope.
no, busy,
You've got a
sorry.
baby to deliver.
I do.
So all the best with that.
Yeah.
We teach
Don't have a look.
what I teach at the Broncos in game development is butterfly hands. So just
Yeah, like this. Hit me. I'm open.
and open. Yeah. All the best with that. buddy.
Thank you, mate.
No problem.
Fogs, anything on?
Oh, I'm playing cricket on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that.
Where can the punters come down
Nice.
and catch that?
Spray you.
The Gabba.
Small venue,
Oh,
but
that's a good get. It's a good get.
I'll quickly shout out the Jillaroos are also playing. We didn't talk about women's footy, but the
Yeah.
Australian women take on the England women, and it's the first time that Jess Skinner will coach the Jillaroos side. The
Yeah.
former disgraced Jillaroos coach, Brad Donald, who had a bunch of shit get brought up about him and his questionable decisions in the women's game. He's now had the sack. Got a new coach in their best female rugby league team in the world. Yeah, get on the Jillaroos to win.
Okay.
all right, boys, great first hit out. We'll be back next Tuesday, I
next
believe.
week. See you next Tuesday.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we'll preview all of the rest of round one.
I get it.
Thank you, guys.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website